Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. I'm your host. I'm Sybil Amuti.
And I'm Brandis Daniel.
And we are so
great
super happy. Hey, girl.
I know, I just cut in. Go on, Sybil.
No. Of course, I needed that. Hey. How are you?
I'm good, girl. How are you?
Girl, I'm so good. I'm telling you, today has been amazing. Yes! Can't tell me nothing.
These kids are in school. Great girlfriends. We hear y'all out there. We hear y'all.
Listen, you love them, but everybody needs somewhere to go during the day. Everyone needs a destination, honey. And when camp ended, I was like, okay, wait. Hold up.
Wait, what are we doing? You know what? We should have had a Great Girlfriends back to school party for the mamas.
We really should have. We probably could have made a killing having a summer camp those last 2 weeks of summer in the New York, New Jersey area, and have a Great Girlfriend summer camp, putting all the kids in one gym with 5 counselors, and all the moms will have their days. That's maybe next summer.
Maybe so.
But
oh my goodness,
I'm super, super excited because this week we brought back, I call her a rapper, a dope MC, the great girlfriend hostess with the mostest, Miss Mikki Taylor.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Like, she has so much wisdom. She's like bursting with wisdom.
She's bursting.
What's your problem? Mikki got something to share with you on that one thing. And yes. I love when she just flows because, there's so much about her life we don't even know. And I've gotten a chance to kind of, I remember I was at this retreat with her, and this woman hadn't said anything. Mikki just knew what she was going through, and she started to share her personal story with this woman, and this woman was like, oh my God, this is what I'm going through. So I've seen her just like operate out of just her, literally just her spirit, her intuition, and her wisdom that can only come from God, because I'm still to this day have no idea how Mikki knew what that woman was going through. So it was just such a treat to have her.
This episode is mind-blowing. I'm so excited about it.
I'm so excited. It's going to be incredible.
I'm excited. So this is what we need, great girlfriends. Before we dive into this episode, make this promise that after you listen, you will pass it on to 5 great girlfriends, and you will write your iTunes review. Come on.
Yes.
That review. All right, let's get the party started with Miss Mikki Taylor. Great girlfriends, you are absolutely in for the sweetest treat that we could offer you in today's episode with our guest great girlfriend, just honorary great girlfriend and auntie in our head. Miss Mikki Taylor is back.
Honored, yes. So honored to sit and share with you all. I really am.
Mikki, I got to tell you, Brandis and I, it never gets normal to me that I get to say hi to you when you speak back, and it's like you're a real person.
It sure does not.
Oh, my
normal. God.
I'm forever fangirling, forever, always.
Oh, well, please, I just hold that in the highest honor. That is so beautiful, as is my admiration for you all and what you're doing, and that you care so deeply about us. That is to just be commended in this day and age of, not having enough time, or the era of the self, and people not really plugging into and connecting with one another on a deeper level. That's what I really love about fellowship. I don't think we lack for networking, but networking has become so transactional. What can I do for you? What can you do for me? Why should we know each other? But fellowship, that's the thing that I think that we're all deeply yearning for in this Insta age. Fellowship, real meaningful connections. And what do you know that will help me? And how can I help you? And how can we link arms and names together to do something great that benefits others, that goes beyond one another? Yeah, that's the rich stuff. That's the rich stuff. That's what the elders did.
Yes.
That's what the elders did. Yeah.
That's what they did. So, great girlfriends, we have author, international speaker, editor at large of Essence Magazine, and the woman who, Mikki, you and Susan Taylor and all the others, you started it for us because with Essence Magazine, you let us know what the standard was. You all set the standard and the tone for everything that we are able to walk in now. And we can never say enough thank yous to you all for stepping outside of what was the norm and creating a visibility for us that we needed as young girls, flipping the pages and looking at that smile every single time we got the magazine, my mama's magazine, and reading the notes from Susan Taylor and hearing your voice through the pages. It gave us the confidence that we stand in today. So I don't want to pretend that we don't even we have the courage to pursue these platforms because of the work that you did and continue to do. So I just want to really just throw that thank you to you and honor, I will say what you all did with the platform with Essence Magazine and, the heartbeat that you set.
Thank you. Thank you. Our mantra every day was we put this magazine out for and about ourselves. And so, I remember having the conversation with Susan early on and, Susan saying, well, whatever you're going through, that's what Black women are going through. And that really formulated the core of our story. So, certainly my role as beauty director was to affirm, inform, and inspire the culture's definition of beauty and the challenges that we met with regards to being our authentic selves. And so it wasn't only to hold up the mirror on Black womanhood and problem solve and encourage us, but, I felt the responsibility to take it upon myself to educate the industry so that we would no longer be the invisible woman, And so I certainly take great pride in standing with Sister Susan and all the other sheroes that through the ages at the magazine that really laid the groundwork for what we now enjoy as Black Girl Magic.
Yeah. It is so true. I'm telling you. I think we were bred out of that confidence, that assurance that you can do it. Just you reaffirmed so many things that we needed, and I think we continue to need. And so, the Great Girlfriends platform is all about expanding, just continuing to do the work, and that the baton that you passed, we received it. We received it, and now we're doing our part. So what we did, Mikki, was we dug in our Facebook group and we asked some great girlfriends, if you have the opportunity to ask Mikki Taylor a question, what would it be that you'd want to know the most about her? And there were some recurring trends. People have done their homework on you, Mikki, so they know.
Wow.
They've been digging. They've been watching, and they've been observing not just your years in the forefront of the beauty industry, but the way that you manage your calling now. So they see you continually serving with that heartbeat. So we took some questions, and I want to call this time Ask Mikki, if that's okay.
Yes, I love it.
Well, we can just dig. And Mikki, you can just get as candid as you'd like for our great girlfriends. And I pulled a few questions that I think we can cover today. And then if we get you back, we want to call you and beg you to come back. But if that's cool with you, can we go that route today?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yay! So
these great girlfriends don't know the treat they're getting, Sybil, right now.
No,
y'all are getting a real treat. I just want to say that because Mikki doesn't even speak to the person; she really speaks to the spirit, and so y'all are about to get it right now. So I'm excited.
You're getting it.
I'll try to hold back my questions, Sybil.
Brandis, you get to chime in whenever you want. You get to chime in whenever you want.
No, because then I'll take over all the great girlfriends questions. So go ahead.
That is so true. That is true. So don't chime in. No plan. But for our great girlfriends in the Facebook group, we heard you, we saw you, we received your questions. And if you're not in our Facebook group, the Great Girlfriends, I don't know what you're missing out on. Like, you need to get over there and do it.
Okay.
So okay? Come on. Your best life is over there. So listen, so the first question we have is from Taryn White. And Taryn says this. She said, you've been a leader in the beauty industry for over 30 years. How do you think the landscape has changed during your tenure in the industry?
Well, the landscape has definitely gotten better. Even if I look at product offerings, let's start on the basic level. When I first started, the amount of products that addressed our beauty could fit in the span of my two arms. And now we have such a wide range of choices that we have to navigate what we desire, not what works for us. There are offerings for us, but what we desire. So, for example, when I started out talking to the industry about foundations, where they just didn't see us in our beautiful skin tones, they wanted to know, well, can we just do 3 foundations? Can we do 6 foundations? Do you all really come in 33 shades? Do we have to have all of them? Well, if we look at Fenty and the 40 plus shades now that Rihanna has, it's no longer a conversation, and everyone else is trying to keep up. And so, that certainly represents a seismic shift in the industry. What I taught is that beauty is our most emotional purchase, that beauty is a form of self-expression for us, that we in fact never bought products, that we bought experiences that we wanted to know. And so the landscape has changed greatly. If we look at the hair conversation, there are even online hair communities. There are products for every texture that in which we choose to, exemplify with our hair. So that certainly represents a lot. But also, if I come down to the image platform, we are certainly now seeing us all shades, shapes, and sizes. Now, could it be improved upon? Absolutely. Absolutely. There are people who are still sticking their toe in the water as opposed to going in for a swim with us and creating that tidal wave that really represents Black womanhood and women of color. But has it improved greatly from the time when I began the conversation in 1980? Absolutely. Absolutely. And so what I say to us is, because we are the entrepreneurs of our own destinies, that we should be ever more bold, that certainly we have the platform of social media to hold up the mirror in all its glory. And I really do think that companies should be taking their lead from us, as opposed to dictating to us what works and who's acceptable and what says beauty. In this country, the concept of a standard of beauty is so outdated and irrelevant that there should be no one that should be looking to that or what's acceptable. If God created it, it is validated.
Absolutely.
Well, that was the episode. Now, I don't even know. Mikki, I mean, seriously, it's like, Mikki, you're almost a rapper. I'm going to tell you, like the go with MC. But seriously, if we walk away with that understanding alone, if God created it, it's validated. My God. Yeah. Like, what can't we accomplish with that knowing?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And that's why I encourage us to really be the author of our own stories. I think that that our lives should demonstrate that we know who we are and the power that rests within each of us. And when you have that kind of divine self-awareness, you wake up every day so excited to be you that sleep is almost something you have to compel yourself to do. Yeah.
That is so real.
Yeah.
Karen White, I hope that answers.
Yeah.
That answers it for me. That visibility, like you said, that esteem that you offer, and that if God created it, oh my God, that's enough. That's enough.
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
That's exactly right.
Brandis, are you there?
I mean, I'm here and I'm holding back because I have something. I'm just trying to hold. Mikki, you always say something. I would just love for you to just kind of expand on this. You said, I remember you said this to me, and I think you say this to your supporters and friends as well. But you said to be risk adverse is to be success adverse.
Absolutely.
Can you kind of speak? Because I think a lot of our great girlfriends might be going through that, including me. So can you kind of speak to what you mean by that and what you've seen that demonstrates that's true?
Okay, so first of all, I came of age learning that to be risk adverse was to be success adverse. And I also came of age with the thought that faith is nothing if it's not defining your life. So if we only profess faith, that's a theory. If we live faith, then that's in all actuality. So if you have the courage to be who God says you are, if you have the courage to act on your divine assignment, then you're not going to be risk adverse, because the one who created you, who purposed you for such a time as this, has got your back. He has got your back. Even if you need it in black and white, Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you." So to be risk adverse is to be success adverse. It really is. It's all almost oxymoronic. So, for example, and you have to believe it. The Bible says, or otherwise don't expect anything of God. So he won't meet you where you are if you don't believe it, if you're timid. Perfect example. When I pitched for the position of cover editor and cover director 6 years into my tenure at Essence Magazine, there was not another cover editor or director on the masthead of any magazine. It was a position that had not been formulated. Magazines were putting together their covers with diverse teams and freelancers. So I created the position, proposed it, and fully expected to get it, because I knew what I wanted to do for millions of black women long before they started teaching branding courses at FIT in terms of establishing a signature for the magazine. Now, if I had been risk adverse, I would have hid behind the others or hid behind just my role as beauty director and working with other people and saying, okay, well, gee, we did a great cover this time. This time? Really? Why not every time? And so I remember pitching it and them saying to me, well, if you become cover director, cover editor, what will the art director think? I think he's going to shout. I said, he's going to shout hallelujah, because he's going to do the most amazing work. And I began to not only put together cover teams and do the cover, I created storyboards for the cover, because we did them as covers and spotlights with accompanying stories. That led to me doing shorts, video shorts, if you will, that then the reader could later see online and follow the story. Because there's always more to what we are capable of than what meets the eye. But shame on us if we don't showcase it. There's no use in having that power if you won't use it. So, yeah, to be risk adverse is to be success adverse. Life is not a dress rehearsal. This is it. You're not getting to come back and try it another time. So you better learn to live outside of your comfort zone so you can really experience your power zone. Absolutely. Absolutely. You need to get used to wearing those shoes. They will fit if you're willing to put your whole foot in and walk in them. Yeah, they will fit. They will fit.
They will fit.
And you can't be worried about what others will think. What if it doesn't work? No. The Bible says God did not give us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. That means you are fully equipped to be risk adverse. That shouldn't even feel comfortable to you. Yeah, if you see it, you are able to execute it. You should even visualize the audience who it will serve. I'm not talking about daydreaming. Daydreaming is for children. I'm talking about strategic intention.
Oh,
yeah,
Mikki.
Absolutely. Yeah, strategic.
Is there ever a place, Mikki, where you feel like you ever get beyond the place of having to take risk? Is there like an age or place at life when you can say, you know what, everything is good, I'm comfortable, do you think we get to that place, or do you think we get to a place where we decide to ignore the calls on our lives?
I think we get to a place where we get comfortable. We get in that comfort zone and like, don't touch this. It ain't broke. Don't fix it. I hate that expression. Arrival is a fallacy. Arrival there's no truth in that. I don't think there is a time when you arrive. You have to keep growing and going and experiencing new things. And what more lies inside of you? You ought to want to spend all of it, not get to a point where, okay, I'm just comfortable. I got a chip. This chip works. I'll just put this card in for this. You should never get to that point. No. Arrival is a fallacy. No, absolutely not. You should never get to that point where, and if you really want to sit in that seat of having done enough, then take your sign down. You're not in business. You're not in the game. You're just existing at that point. You're not truly living. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. No, not at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
So look, Brandon, Brandon and I, now we have 1,000 questions, and I feel like I might be cheating the great girlfriends a bit, but because I have my own set of questions, and I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to take a separate time for my questions. But okay, I have another question from the community. Yamika Watts Mumfree. She says, Yamika Watts Mumfree says, what could we do more of as a community to help our girls and women love themselves more? You know, this is very important right now, Mikki. The number one cause of death for people between the ages of 10 and 34 is suicide. Yeah. And I think we've got to be more serious about what you do, which is, you said not on my watch. I refuse on my watch to let women of color feel less than what I know they could be. And you are so devoted. What do you think we can do? What's our charge right now?
Well, the first thing and that's a great question, because I see us struggling with this across the country. I also see us struggling with trust issues. I see us struggling with forgiveness. But the reality of it is managing what happens in your life and what comes to you starts with managing what flows through you. So you, first of all, have to begin by living in harmony with yourself. You can't exemplify what you don't believe. You can't exemplify what you don't execute. You can't talk love and not demonstrate it. The word says faith without works is dead. So we have to pour into one another. When I came of age, there was a village that poured into me. It wasn't left all up to my mother. My sisters, I had younger sisters, so I was the oldest for the longest time. So how are you teaching, and not only that, curating your celebration circle through which you all have the ability to not only empower one another, but reach out to others? You see, that there is, in this virtual reality that a lot of us live in, you know, we think we're showing off and doing the example by what we post on social media. If that were the case, the suicide rate would not be increasing. What it is doing is putting pressure on women, particularly young women, and making them think that they don't measure up, that they don't have it going on. But we're not willing to come down off that digital stage and say, well, yes, this looks really good here, but you know what brought me to this? I had to grow through some stuff. Or to say to a young sister who's on the job, you know, I know you want to reach this position, but you're going about it the wrong way, and you're going to alienate people and never get to where you really want to be. Here's what I know for sure. Let's work together on this. I want to see you achieve your dreams. You know, we should stop standing on these stages talking about when you get to the top, send the elevator back down. Don't send a ghost experience for anybody else. Get in the elevator and go back down and tell them what they're going to encounter on level 4, 5, and 6. And there's going to be people that don't like them. Learn to distinguish between feedback and criticism so it won't cripple you. The things like that. Talk to your daughter to make sure she's not a bully in school, that she's living by a different example. Remind her of who her name is and what she must stand for. And then invite some of those girls to your home. Take them on a girls' trip. Maybe their mother's not taking them on a girls' trip. Maybe they become a mean girl because mom got mean because somebody hurt her. Hurt people. The world isn't fair, but you can be. And it starts with each one teaching one and living by example and taking one another under our wings enough to care. Nobody's going to legislate that. You got to carry that out.
Woo! No one's going to legislate it. You are so right. You're so right. Oh, my gosh. And that village, that surrounding, that insulation, that padding that we needed when we failed.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
An auntie to call, a cousin to call, a sister, someone to lean on. That padding,
That's right.
That padding saved
That's
me.
right.
I know.
That's right. That padding. That's right. That's exactly right. And if we don't have a place to go, we will end up at the wrong destination when challenge hits. Yeah. So we have the power to change that which we don't like. We have the power to change that that we don't want to see bloom in our future. Yep. We have the power to do that.
Okay, Mikki. Okay. All right. Because I'm just over here processing, and I just feel like I need to go out and do 10,000 more things than I'm already doing. But I know I'm on my assignment, so I gotta stay focused, right? But don't you, Brenda? Like, I just explode with purpose every single time. Like, we sit at your feet, it's just like I'm bursting. So I know that every woman listening is bursting. And I want to talk about this one. This one came in from more than one woman, so I can't really assign it to one name, but it was a common thread of a question. Because right now we have so many women in our specific community who are either entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. They're also moms. They're also wives. They are serving in their community, at their church, or in different groups in their community. And they have, they have a lot going on, and they're looking for harmony. And for us, Mikki, when I go down your resume, and I know you don't do all these things in one day, but you do manage all these things, the Disney Dreamers Academy, the Essence Festival Power Stages, working with some of the world's most fascinating and influential people, appearing on talk shows. You at HFR talked about your husband as if the romance just started. Like, that romance, that fire was just a flame in that room. And it was so tender. And you always do. You always affirm your marriage and your relationship and your children. But there's a harmony that you have. And we want to know, we've got little kids and some of us have teens, et cetera. But how are you harmonizing your life and honoring your calling? Sometimes it doesn't feel like it's, we can do it all. But how do you do that?
I think you certainly have to set priorities. You have, before you go out into the world, I always like to say, your core foundation has to be set. It really does. There's a plaque that hangs in my kitchen that says in so many words, home is where you learn who you are. So that's your launching pad. And the core values that are established there for you and your family, those are the things that you have to walk in. And they can't be disposable. They can't be your throwaway principles that, you shift when you go into this arena, into that arena. So you have to be clear. You have to be strategic in communicating the power and knowing the power, rather, of your unique value position. So it's, what do you bring to your family? What do you bring to the world? What do you contribute to the lives of others? How are you threading your authentic narrative? And what are the results of that? Because you're writing a story. You are branding a legacy. No matter where you are in life, what will it be? What will your children say about you? What will others say about you? What the place that you came to contribute, not go to work, because I don't believe in jobs. What will be your story there? What will be your imprint? And so that's the evidence that you have to give, and it will show up. So for me, it's not hard to discern that because I'm very, very clear. I'm very clear. And another thing I say to us, I'm not trying to have it all. Let's be clear. I'm not trying to do it all. I'm trying to have what matters. You see, one of my favorite hashtags is purpose at work. And if I can't brand it at that, then there's no need for me to spend my time there. And I think that's part of knowing your value. I think that's certainly part of treasuring your vision space, what goes on in your mind. And I really do a lot of mind keeping because if you're not careful, if you don't take the trash out, the mind is like a sponge. You go through your day and it picks up 100 different languages at least and experiences and impressions and all of that. And you can't use all of them. So you got to get still so you can stay on course. Again, having that celebration circle, people who push, polish, and check you. If you're the most valid voice in your circle's too small. Understanding how to process life and challenges. I always say you don't want to just go through. You want to grow through. What are you getting from your day in and your day out? And the stuff that comes to disrupt and not in a good way. All of those things become a part of who you are and how you move through the world and the joy of your life.
I love that. Having what matters.
Having what matters.
That's
even
so
having
good.
people around you that make deposits and not withdrawals. A lot of us hallucinate. We got folks around us making withdrawals and we're making provisions for them. And those are the people who will even cause you to give out of your lack. And your grandmother taught you that you can't give what you don't have. So why are you trying to do that now? No, not at all. Not at all. So yes, there's an entrepreneur in every one of us. Each of us is a brand. Even when we're working for others, we're a brand within a brand. And they shouldn't be able to do without your distinction. For that matter, you should know when your time is up and you need to move on to the next level.
Yes.
Right. I always believe, I have the grandiose notion to believe that no one can really pay you for your creativity. All they can do is pay you for your labor. So you got to know the value of it. You got to know when it's time to go to the next level. You got to know when the candle wick is done. Time to start up a new candle. Time to move from a lighter to a bonfire. Yeah, time to stop striking a match. And
wait, Mikki, you can't.
You can't skip past from a lighter to a bonfire, right?
You can't just skip past that. We gotta.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, you gotta know.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
Mikki,
you gotta know.
I can hear some of our great girlfriends saying, "Oh my God, this sounds so good." But Mikki, I don't have any other opportunities out there right now.
That's
sending
never
my
true.
resume.
That's never true.
I can hear it. I hear them, Mikki.
That's never true. That's never true. More often than not, the thing that you're afraid of, that was given to you to create your empire. And until you step out on faith, you will not be walking in the golden shoes that were created for you. They are sitting there waiting for you. You got to be willing to put them on. No. And more than not, that divine assignment is given to you in your childhood. And you think that you can't do it because nobody else is doing it. It wasn't meant for anybody else to do. I'll give you an example. I played with my dolls till I was 14, told stories with them, beauty, all of that. When I got to the pages of Essence, I started playing with my living dolls. That's when it made sense to me. Made sense to me. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. As a child, I always was outspoken. I never came to a point where I didn't use my voice till I got to adulthood and I was surrounded by the wrong people and I put that voice away. And one day somebody said to me, "What? So-and-so, even James Baldwin." And I went and got that voice back out of the box and left my shy self at home, and I've been using it ever since. Yeah. That's why it's so important to surround yourself with the right people. Because even when you don't see your gift, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
That is
and
so
God
true.
will send you messengers and people to help you carry it out because nobody creates something they don't intend to use, and certainly not God himself. No. You don't
Mikki,
want to be that ship that sits in the harbor. I always say ships were great in the harbor. They were created to sail, and you ought to create the journey. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So you got to be transformational in your thinking. That's the first thing, to get out of that, thinking there's nothing for me. I done sent my resume out. No, you got to be transformational in your thinking. And where is your gift most needed? What concern does it solve?
That's so
what
good.
aspiration does it satisfy? Who is the audience that's waiting for you? And you don't need to hide under somebody else's shelter to be a successful business person. You can put your own awning up. How are you going to engage people across multiple channels of communications and in ways that command their attention? How are you going to provoke them that you'll become their destination brand or supplier or whatever it is that you do? You got to give evidence. And people will be proud to sing your song. Yes, I know it's so. You can create brand advocates just by what God gave you, and certainly sit in the leadership chair of your own empire and increase your claim in the market. Maybe God won't bless that resume going out because he don't want you working for somebody else. He gave you too much to use. Somebody else might misuse it. To be risk adverse is to be success adverse. If the best is possible, then good is not enough. No. Nope.
Mikki, I'm scared to ask this next question. But
and I'm like, well, great girlfriends, we heard that then, right? Thank you, Mikki, for that, because I mean the truth is that we all have doubts, and that was, thank you for the reminder of who we are.
Yeah.
This is like, I feel, Mikki, and I'm not going to ask the next question. I'm going to save it for the next time we get to have you on, because I do think we need to dive into this whole feminine energy and how we can, as women, be present for our men in another episode. So I'm not going to go there. I just want to drop that little seed.
Oh, yes. We got to go for that.
She ready, look. She ready.
Oh, yes. She ready. We got to go for that. She ready, honey. Yes, she ready.
I think we need a whole episode for that. I do. I think we need a whole episode for that.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to deal with that. The 5 stages of love, the laws of attraction. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You see, I knew it. I knew we need a separate episode for that. So, great girlfriends, you have to hang tight for that. But for this, we dealt with her, she, I, we, us.
Yeah.
The internal beauty and that, lends to the external beauty. That which you have talked about for years and championed for us. And I want to encourage anyone who doesn't have Editor-in-Chic to go out and purchase a copy today, because you can take this episode as a Bible from the Great Girlfriends episodes of wisdom that just want to reference, Mikki. I don't know that I've ever felt that much power and electricity in one episode of the podcast. I really,
wow.
Honestly, wow. I just the way that you jolted us. So hopefully, Great Girlfriends, I know that I know the questions are going to come firing in, because some people
they are. And then they're going to be saying, wait a minute, I didn't see that post in the Great Girlfriends Facebook group. I didn't know we could ask Mikki questions.
It's coming. But we're going to be ready, because we're going to have Mikki back. But do go out and purchase Editor-in-Chic. Get your copy. You can grab it on Amazon. Anywhere books are sold, actually.
And they can get it as an audio book, so they can have me right in their ear, like cheering them on. That's right.
That's even better.
That's right. Yeah, they can get the audio book.
I'm telling you, that voice, that voice will put you to sleep and wake you up. It is everything, all in one. Mikki, where can they find you on Instagram and social?
Yes, they can find me at I am Mikki Taylor.
I am Mikki Taylor. And then on Facebook, where are you?
The same. Yeah.
Oh, I am Mikki Taylor. That's perfect.
Yes, I am Mikki Taylor.
Brandis, any closing words? Brandis over there breathing like...
No, I'm so fired up right now, as I always am, because I've told Mikki before, like, our generation needs her voice, because we get fed so many different things, and you always speak to our hearts, always.
I'm so honored.
I'm just thankful. I'm thankful that we have you as a resource for the Great Girlfriends. I'm thankful that we're able to share you with the Great Girlfriends and your voice with them so that they understand that a lot of the things that we're going through now, you've been through, and, you know, you're able to just give us priceless wisdom on how to keep moving forward. So thank you.
Just honored.
Absolutely.
Just honored. Just honored. And what I say to the audience in the words of Ayn Rand is the question isn't who's going to let me, it's who's going to stop me. And if you operate with that every day, knowing that if God be for you, who can be against you? You will be beyond victorious.
Yes. I love that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Honored. I love you all. I can't wait for the next conversation. It's like what I call the kitchen table talk. I'm always ready.
Exactly.
Yes.
Total kitchen table talk.
We could not end this podcast without thanking our amazing husbands.
Yes, thank you, Kwaku.
And thank you so much, Rich Daniel.
And our beautiful children, thank you, Sam and Dylan.
And thank you, Miss Sky Daniel.
And thank you to all of you great girlfriends for trusting us as your go-to source for everything life, love, and laughter.
You can check us out on our social, on Instagram,
The Great Girlfriends,
on Twitter,
_Great GFS,
and on Facebook,
The Great Girlfriends.
And please make sure that you join our Facebook group, which is over 16,000 women strong.
Absolutely. And make sure you listen every single Wednesday on iTunes, Spotify, Podcast Bean, Podcast Republic, Google Play, and every other podcasting service.
Absolutely.
Be sure to post your questions, share with your friends. Keep listening and keep being a great girlfriend. I'm Sybil.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're signing off.
Peace.
Peace.